Native Alaskan tribes have had a very complex relationship with salmon, one spanning over 12,000 years. Salmon have been more than just a food source for them, with groups such as the Tlingit, Haida, Yupik, and Athabascan people viewing them as non human kin, meaning that they were way more than animals to be harvested, but relatives. This high regard is also found within physical evidence in the form of artifacts from many peoples, as well as old cave paintings from ancient coastal island peoples. Although the most iconic medium we can see this relationship in is in the form of the Tinglet and Haida totem poles, representing family history and important events or traditions. Another iconic physical item the emblem of the salmon is often sketched on are found on cedar wood tribal masks used within ceremonies featuring dances which are done to ensure plentiful harvest in the future. And even in the modern day, salmon are viewed as a positive symbol in many Native Alaskan cultures, representing things such as strength, resilience, renewal, respect, and life in general. Even still, the image of how the salmon is depicted in these mediums hasn't changed much, with the salmon being drawn with a curved body and bold lines which mimic motion, mainly being woven into blankets now. An example of a native Alaskan artist who frequently uses salmon in his art would be Nathan Jackson, whom preserves native Alaskan culture with his intricate and impressive artwork, with many carefully drawn shapes being interconnected into one big image usually, with smaller connections being made to make more shapes of animals and other symbols. Another facet of this complex relationship is found within the fishing practices as well. As the fishing practices implemented in these groups are sustainable, ensuring populations will remain strong for generations to come. However, inside interference began changing this. Settlers brought with them new views, focusing more on efficiency than long-term sustainability. Unlike the natives who used fish traps, which allowed for younger salmon to escape at times, along with the occasional spear, dip nets, and humble smokehouses for drying racks to preserve the salmon during long, harsh winters, the settlers brought with them fishing fleets, with gill nets, and fish wheels, and canneries, processing millions of salmon a year. These declines of salmon impeded upon the cultural practices of native groups. Today, there are Alaskan natives fighting for their fishing rights and environmental conservation, focusing on issues such as climate change, overfishing, and habitat destruction, which threaten salmon populations. Organizations led by native communities advocate for sustainable fishing practices, not only for them, but for Alaska and for generations to come. On another note, it is important that these groups fight for the preservation of sustainable natural fishing due to the fact that for tens of thousands of years, Native Alaskans had been eating the healthy, non-farm bred, non-genetically modified salmon along with the healthy animals they hunted for and forageables. So the sudden changes in diet when the settlers began taking over have had negative effects on them, which can be seen in the modern era. These non-healthy farm-bred animals lack a lot of nutrients the natives have depended on, and the GMOs fill their bodies with extra additives and chemicals, making natives more susceptible to heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. Keeping these more traditional ways of gathering sustenance more accessible wouldn't only help native Alaskan populations, but Alaska as a whole.